Hello, I'm Ishaan, and I'm here to talk about taxes and hopefully change your perspective on them. Now, everyone hates taxes. People spend a lot of time and effort trying to reduce their taxes. Some people employ professionals to help them avoid paying taxes. In the case of rich people, they move off to islands called tax havens so they can reduce the amount of tax they pay compared to their home countries. Now, why do people do this? Well, some reasons are obvious. In India, only 2.5% of the population pays income tax. So naturally, the taxpayers find it unfair that the non-taxpayers get away without paying taxes, and everyone, including the non-taxpayers, benefit from tax-funded public programs. Taxpayers also feel that these public um, programs are really inefficient and they waste a lot of the taxpayers' money. Some taxpayers feel that the government diverts their taxes to corrupt individuals. Um, and last but not least, let's face it, people are selfish. So they would much rather help themselves before trying to help their neighbors or just people around them. So they use the above reasons to help justify to themselves why they should avoid paying taxes. So far, so obvious, right? So let's look at this in a different perspective. Shark Tank. We've all heard of Shark Tank, right? It's a show where entrepreneurs give business presentations to a panel of five investors or sharks, as they call it, who further decide whether they should invest in the participant's company or not. Now, these sharks invest in a lot of companies, and most of them end up being unsuccessful. But the ones that do achieve success get really successful and often overcompensate for the ones that weren't so successful. Circling back to the real world, let me put the tax situation in a Shark Tank perspective. Now, you are an investor, okay? Consider yourself as a shark. The companies that you're going to be investing in are the people around you, and your investment is basically just the tax that you pay. Through these taxes, the government is able to enable free education in some areas, is able to um, improve your healthcare, and is also able to provide food to the poor. Now, it's natural that everyone in a society won't be working equally as hard, right? So people can and will be unsuccessful, just like companies. But again, we have a silver lining, right? There are going to be a few people who will be working very hard and will get very successful, right? These people will overcompensate for the ones that didn't get so lucky or successful. For instance, in India, the topmost colleges or universities are funded by Indian taxpayers. Now, the graduates from these universities have gone on to create history by leading some of the world's greatest companies, such as um, Microsoft and Google. When our parents and grandparents were paying taxes, they had no idea that they were investing in the education of people who would later go on to drive the internet and the computer revolution. And yet, it still happened. Now, when they use Google or Windows, it's partly their own investment which has made their lives a lot better. Nordic countries such as Sweden, Denmark, and Finland have one of the highest income tax in the world, which exceeds 55% tax for the highest taxpayers. Now, that's a crazy amount of tax. But these countries reside in the top 10 happiest countries in the world according to the 2020 World Happiness Report. People living in Sweden actually like paying taxes. Yes, you heard me right. They like paying taxes. Now, the Swedish government is able to invest more in improving the quality of life because of the high income tax, and therefore giving back to their citizens through public transport, free education, and social equality. We all know about Minecraft, H&M, Spotify, IKEA, You might be surprised to know that these companies are of Swedish origin. This just proves that high income tax does not um, discourage innovation. In Sweden, there are billionaires and multi-billion dollar companies that are way out of proportion to its population. By paying taxes, you're not just investing in the betterment of your own future, but that of everyone that surrounds you. So the next time you hear your parents complaining about taxes, or you come across an article in a paper that says that taxes are just an unfair burden, think of it as your own selfless way of giving back to society and to your future self. And suddenly, paying taxes becomes a no brainer. So pay your taxes and thank you.